Are we getting lunch?
Not if he can't come.
So just
We have to move it again.
move this damn lunch. We're never getting lunch. Kyra, do you want to get lunch?
This is the constantly moving lunch. If we're not having a full team lunch, I could really use the time.
Well, everybody is needed, but hell, nobody's going. You, Jessica, Luke, me, that's everybody. Yes, everybody. It's a big team of workers on the Jessica Benson Show, Kyra. You know that, but fine, whatever. Oh my gosh, it's a late night / early morning.
Late night, early morning.
Was that the song today?
No, the song was I Don't Care by Fall Out Boy.
Oh, what a good song.
I know.
I don't care. Said I don't care what you think as long as it's about me. The best of us can find happiness in misery. That's a great song. When they took the mask off and it was Sarah Palin, I was like, what? Get out of here.
It did put me in the mood.
What mood?
Like the let's come talk about a Grizzlies win mood.
That song puts you in that
I just
mood?
think they have a good energy.
That's why
like,
they're
I
always...
don't care that I only got 3 hours of sleep. Who needs sleep? Not me.
That's why Fall Out Boy is always on one of the college football, like, hey, the season's starting. Here's this Fall Out Boy song for you. Because they do provide.
We almost
that
had a bad one this morning. And by a bad one, I mean my phone didn't charge overnight.
The wife's phone didn't do that
Really?
either.
I woke up without my alarm and I looked at my phone and it was on 1% battery. And what a horrible way to start the day.
What do you mean?
I mean, I woke up, so it's fine.
You're good.
But it was scary
what a
there
good
for
way
a
to
second
start the
because
day.
what if it hadn't? And then I couldn't be here to talk about the great Grizzlies win. What's up, everybody? It is Thursday, October 24th. It is going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass. Coming up on today's show, the Grizzlies win. They get the dub night one against the Utah Jazz. Santi Aldama's big performance. Ja Morant, he is back. We will talk about it all. Teresa Walker will join us as she does each and every Thursday. We'll talk to her about the latest Titans transactions, the 1-5 Titans, how they look ahead to the rest of the season, what it means for the quarterback situation, all that and more with Teresa. Plus, Vandy hosts Texas this week in Nashville. I think she'll be going to it. We'll catch up with Teresa. We'll go around the sports world, hit some of the other NBA happenings from last night. The NBA was introduced to The Wall, the new feature at the Clippers' new arena, the Intuit Dome in Inglewood, California. Kevin Durant missed 2 free throws there, but the Suns still got the win. We'll talk about some of the other NBA scores, some notable injuries, plus a crazy outcome in college football. And then we'll end with a little Theater Thursday, some movie news from the week to get us going. It's a Thursday. You know what we say. Grizzlies win?
Kapowie!
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping.
It's going to be crazy. The fans are going to be loud. We need just energy.
We're going to need, the form rocking. We're going to need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support.
When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bane three. Yes, sir. Desmond Bane with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
Anticipate each challenge. Make a quick response. Capitalize on every opportunity. And win. Greatness won't wait. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzlies stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
We have not talked to you since we got the big fella that's going to go next to you. What has impressed you about him, though? Just being on the same court with him, because you've watched him a lot in college. You got to see him. We got to see him very, very little in summer league.
Very quick twitch, like decision making. Yeah. No real fear of anything. Like very vocal, able to talk through the game. But I mean, like, do win Player of the Year twice. Like
I know.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Congratulations to the Vanderbilt Commodores. They have actually hit the over on their win total for the season. Winning number 3. Their total was 2.5.
Hey, listen. If I had told you Vanderbilt was going to hit the over on their win total against Alabama, you guys would have kicked me off the show.
Crazy. Absolutely insane.
I tried to argue that they were going to be bowl eligible.
And I said that was good. And they still might not be.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own a day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Thursday. The Grizzlies season is here, and you know what they say. You can't go 82-0 if you don't go 1-0. If you know, you know. Grizzlies Jazz last night in Salt Lake City. Let's hit the highlights, starting with a little Ja Yuki dap. It's the only way. First Grizzlies bucket of the season. These are the Zach Edey screens you signed up for. Ja Morant and one. Just like it's supposed to look. Or it can look like this, Ja to the rim. BFG energy on the cleanup, Edey's first NBA bucket. Grizzlies' other rookie was first off the bench, and the very first touch for Jalen Wells is a 3, of course. Felt like every touch for Santi Aldama was a 3 in the first quarter. A slim Spain with 3 of his 5 triples coming early for the Grizz. Rotation deep because that altitude makes it harder and harder to breathe, but the Grizz don't puff. They just huff. J-Huff hooping on both ends, from top of the key, then Jazz in transition. He'll blow your house down. Grizzlies led by 11 at the break. Jazz keeping it close. Ja Vision 2020. Bane in the corner from 3. It's easy money. Best backcourt in the NBA is back. You can fight me. Grizzlies forced 17 turnovers last night. Marcus Smart and Bane here. Santi Aldama starts the break, a 2-on-1. That's bad news for the one. Unless it's the one-handed from Santi. Yuki Kawamura is all of us. Santi like OMG. This angle is everything. The Ricky Bobby Grizzlies want to go fast. This Desmond Bane spin so nice it glitched the Matrix. Another Santi. Did you see me in the Olympics? Aldama. 27 points from him last night. And the first time since January, we all got to sit down, not in front of the fire because it's 80 degrees in October, but we got to sit down together and watch Ja Morant. 3-point game in the final minute. No spoilers. You know the words to this song. Call him, beep him if you want to reach him. Ja is back. 22 points, 10 assists to start the season. Grizz win 126-124.
Yuki.
Yes, sir, Presto.
And a little Yuki Ja celebration to end it. Win on night 1, CJ. It was not easy. It felt like it should have been much easier at parts of the night. But the Grizzlies get the win. Night 1, 3 games in 4 nights, 6 games in 9 nights to start off this season. It's always going to feel much, 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 much better if you start with the win And I hope everyone was able to see the game last night some way, somehow. Shout out to the FanDuel TV app. May I suggest everybody get the FanDuel TV app because it worked very well there. I know some people had issues with it, but hopefully you were able to see the highlights from last night. If I had to pick the biggest positives from last night's win for the Grizzlies, and you know every single thing you say after game one, you have to stick with for the rest of the year. They're declarative statements. You can never change your mind.
Oh, I've got a statement. I can't wait.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm going 1A, 1B. You can flip-flop these in either direction. I'll start with Santi Aldama, the leading scorer for the Grizzlies last night, in the starting lineup with Jaren Jackson Jr. out. If that is Santi Aldama all season, if that is a true leap and not just a moment for Santi, and we've now seen it, if you want to go all the way back to his performance for Team Spain in the Olympics, you could say it started really there, but throughout the preseason, what we saw from Santi Aldama last night, starting with his three-point shooting, especially early, but what he was able to do inside as a finisher, as that starting power forward for the Grizzlies, that is huge for this team, because one day, he might be coming off the bench and being able to contribute from a bench spot, but it also just gives you so much flexibility because when you do look at the front court, and I know it was a difficult first night for Zach Edey. We've said it once, we'll say it again. Everyone says it always. It can be a really hard transition for centers to come into this league. The speed of play comes at you fast and you don't have a second to think about it. You are in for the next 82, and Zach Edey struggled a bit last night. But if you could at some point when Jaren is back healthy, have a lineup of Jaren and Santi and the offensive upside that gives you could be huge for this team. So Santi, 1A or 1B, and then just John Morant. Like, John Morant's back, and there is no one more fun. He is one of the most reliable scorers in the game. And when we were picking our leading scorers for the team yesterday in our season predictions, you picked Ja to be the leading scorer. I picked Desmond Bane only because of the notion that John Morant at times is a pass first point guard. He can be a score first point guard. He can be a pass first point guard. He has a double-double last night, but the passes were crispy. The dimes were there. The joggles were on. And you just know when the ball is in Ja's hands late in a game, especially against a team like the Jazz, and the Jazz are too good of a team to be in another season of player development, but they continue in that cycle. And Ja, ball in his hand. I wish that he'd been put back in the game a little bit earlier last night. But again, I think a lot of lineup and rotation decisions yesterday were indicative of this gauntlet of a schedule. And I don't mean in terms of opponents, but just how many games you're playing so quickly off the bat, plus you're in altitude. But it just was so fun to watch Ja again.
Yeah, there was never a doubt in my mind. I don't think there was ever a doubt in anybody else's mind about what you were going to get when Ja Morant came back on the court. If you sat somebody down and said, hey, do a list of players, they're going to do a list of the best players in the NBA. They're going to do the players that they've seen most recently. And that ends up being the issue with the preseason player rankings, if you want to pay those any attention, with Ja Morant. Because last time everybody saw Ja Morant was, January? And you didn't see him a whole lot last season. You only saw him 9 games. And so that's all that is. But if you sat somebody down who had Ja Morant, I don't know, in the 20s or 30s in their player rankings, wherever the hell he was, I can't remember because it doesn't matter. And you said, hey, what do you think about Ja Morant? They would probably say really, really good things about Ja Morant because he is a special player. There was never a doubt in my mind that he'd step on the court and do something like we saw last night. He's going to always give you in one game, he's going to always give you 2 or 3 moments that make you go, make just weird noises to yourself or out loud, standing up in the arenas or standing up in your house. That's just what Ja Morant is going to do. My thing, I never want to see Brandon Clark attempt another three-pointer.
I'm with you.
Again.
I'm so with you.
No, you want to shoot the ball? Fine. If that's your offensive game plan, fine. Just get a bunch of dudes out there hoisting three-pointers. That's what the NBA is right now. Cool, great, fine. I understand that. You'll never be able to make me understand Brandon Clark shooting threes. Find another way to have him be a part of the offense other than, hey, he's open, he's got to shoot the three. No, he does not have to shoot the three if he's open. Absolutely not.
He finally hit one of his pogo stick floaters, which is what you want to see from him.
Give me all of the pogo sticks.
I don't want to speak for Pete and Brevin, but it sounded like relief. Like, that's the scoring that we want to see from Brandon Clark. Brandon Clark played the fewest minutes last night for the Grizzlies.
Do you want another one?
Sure.
I whisper this.
Okay.
he might be the odd man out because Huff is the
They're completely different players, so it feels
offensively,
tough to compare the two.
If your game plan, and this is why Santi looked good and why I think Santi's going to have a breakout season, not because he's improved, but this offense suits what he can do.
Perfectly for what they need.
The defense also suits what he can do. Some people want to defend the full 24 seconds. Some people want to defend 30 seconds. Some people just want to defend. They don't want you to ever score. Some people like, yeah, I'll defend for like 6 or 7 of those. And I feel like that's what this defense is doing right now because it's all about getting into you, getting pressure, getting either turnovers or forcing you to take a low percentage shot and making you do that quickly. And then you get right back on offense and shoot the damn ball, and that's all Santi wants to do. He's been given the green light because everybody's been given the green light to shoot, and Santi's coming down the court letting it fly. So you got Santi doing that. We saw what Huff was able to do. All this talk about preseason basketball, all this talk about summer league. Why the hell didn't anybody tell me about Jay Huff?
We did. You don't listen because you refuse to listen to anything about the preseason or summer league.
Out here balling like
I swear, I will never forget.
Nobody told me about Huff.
I will never forget sitting next to Devin Walker at summer league this year. And this is before the Grizzlies picked up Jay Huff because that came after summer league. So we were watching him play against the Grizzlies. And surely through this game is what they saw through Jay Huff. And they were like, oh, we could use him. We could use him on our team. And at first, Devin and I were like, ain't no way the Grizzlies are going to give anything up to this dude who was on Virginia's national championship team. How old is this guy? And then he's dunking on him. He's hitting threes on him. He's making huge defensive plays. And we're like, oh, Jay Huff can hoop. And that's all I've said ever since. Is every time Jay Huff is in the game, it's like, oh, Jay Huff's a hooper. Somebody called him, both in the chat and on Twitter, Bass Pro Nas Reed. Bass Pro Pyramid Nas Reed. I mean, I guess it could be Bass Pro, but we're in Memphis, so we're always going to throw Bass Pro Pyramid within it. I just think he's awesome, and he fits a need. And when you look at the potential depth issues with the front court, like I'm sitting watching the game with Chris last night, and he goes, with Jaren out, it is so indicative of a lack of bodies in the front court. I said, what are you talking about? The Grizzlies have Jay Huff. And he was like, who's Jay Huff? I said, have you not been paying attention?
I know. If somebody mentioned him,
it's
I apologize.
It's about damn time.
I didn't know. Mr. Huff, I'm unfamiliar with you. Did you know that he was Defensive Player of the Year in the G League?
Sure did.
Nobody said that. Nobody told me that.
I did.
You
guys
don't
didn't
listen
tell
to me. You didn't tell me.
We did.
You did. You and Mike
I
Wallace.
told you he was Defensive Player in the G League. I told you he ruled in Summer League.
You didn't tell me.
I told you that he's learning biblical Greek in his spare time. You remember that one?
You told me
just
that.
Interesting. He's a massive sneakerhead.
You didn't tell me that.
And he was great last night. He finished the game for the Grizzlies. He had 13 points off the bench in 22 minutes, 4 of 6 shooting, 3 of 5 from 3, 5 rebounds and assists, 2 blocks. And you need every one of those 5 rebounds because the rebounding, ooh, buddy, that's going to be something that the Grizzlies have to figure out
all you
early.
and Mike Wallace wanted to do was come on here and rub my nose and certain things. And nobody, at no point in time did anybody say, hey, CJ, also, keep an eye out for this Jay Huff fella.
Guy.
Nobody told me about this. I was
next
like,
two-way contract to look at upgrading.
What a baller he is. Zach Edey's got to get stronger.
He does.
He's big.
Stronger,
He's
getting
solid.
used to it. And you just need him for rebounds and defense. Like, yeah, sure, feed him in the post every now and then. It can mix things up. You just need him for defense and rebounds and setting some screens. And as he grows into his body, as the game slows down for him, also would love for him to make free throws. He was 1 of 5 at the line last night. And I was like, oh, we can't do this again. Because what you don't want is to get into a hack at Edey situation where teams are just trying to send him to the line. And I don't know what the exact statistic was, but teams, or the Jazz last night, had a higher field goal percentage when Edey was on the court. However, just from the vibe of it, it is tougher for teams to score when you have a 7'4" guy standing down in the post.
So we're just
math.
rolling. We're rolling.
Facts.
Damn math. We're just rolling with vibes now.
I almost just said F math.
All right.
It's early.
We're cool. I will
no
say,
sleep was had.
When he fouled out, he picked up his 6th foul.
Yeah.
Immediately, the Jazz went on that run.
Yes.
And so it was like, oh, okay. So maybe there is something to Zach Edey's importance on the defensive side of the ball.
Like he's necessary. Like when you're watching that run that they go on, you're like, oh, he's necessary. Both rookies struggled with fouls last night. And for Zach Edey, someone who rarely, if ever, fouled out during his college career at Purdue. Jalen Wells struggled with fouls too. I did love the confidence of Jalen shooting it from three with his very first touch of the game. I thought that was fun. But when you look at all of the bodies that Taylor Jenkins rolled with last night, he went 11 deep in the first game of the season. And when he put that lineup with Scottie Pippen Jr. and Jalen Wells were the first two off the bench, and Josh stays in the game, I was like, ooh, we're getting weird to start the year. And it continued throughout the game.
That was a weird lineup.
That was so weird.
Okay.
If you would,
Jessica?
I can't bet on this team. I would never, ever, ever, ever. But if you were a betting person, you would never have bet that lineup would have been rolled out for the Grizzlies in night one.
I saw that lineup come out, and then my first thought was, oh, why didn't anybody tell me about this lineup from the preseason? I didn't know if I was tripping or not.
Now you just don't know because you don't pay attention to anything in the preseason. You could have been warned. You just don't know. You have no idea.
Did they run that in the preseason?
No.
So this is just hey, go out there and do what you do.
Yeah.
I did find it strange. I would have thought you'd always keep one of Marcus Smart or John Morant on the court at all times.
Mm-hmm.
I still feel like Marcus Smart is the second best facilitator on the team, but they're not using him in that way at all.
No.
They're using him in the same way that they use Dylan Brooks, where it is, hey, just be the lockdown defender that we need you to be.
Right.
And he fought and he was scrappy, but Lauri Markkanen is just a large man.
He hit a big shot at the end. Marcus Smart has to be better across the board.
What do you mean?
Like
better
offense, he was 3 of 11, 1 of 6. Talk about someone who, if you're going to shoot all those threes, either make them or I don't need you taking 6 threes if you're Marcus Smart.
I don't think it matters.
Okay.
I think
I know everyone's taking threes. The Grizzlies took 45 threes last night.
I think they would
by
say,
design.
Hey, I think they would say, hey, we didn't take enough.
No, we could have taken more.
We need to take more.
Yeah.
I don't think that they are concerned, because I don't think anybody in the NBA right now is concerned with percentages, particularly, especially from 3. It is, hey, if you're open, just take it.
I mean, you just watched what the Celtics did.
Yeah.
And the Celtics who just won a championship.
And they missed their last 13 threes.
In a row. But they were hunting them. They said if they had kept playing within their offense, they certainly would have made a 3 and not missed 13 in a row.
And that's what people who missed 13 shots in a row would say.
Threes in a row
right?
would
like
say.
That's just what they say. So I will say, saying all of that, going back to Marcus Smart, what did you think about his job on the defensive side of the court? Any thoughts on that at all?
I mean, that's the biggest bonus that you have in Marcus Smart. Like, you have one of the best perimeter defenders. There's a reason why we poo-poo a lot of the preseason lists that get made. And for the record, they had John Morant at number 20. Name me 19 full players better than John Morant. Thank you. The year before, they had him at 35, and they blamed the 25-game suspension. One day they will learn. It's fine. But the reason you see some of those lists, especially I remember the NBA GM survey, Marcus Smart ends up on a lot of best defender lists, best perimeter defender lists, and the fact that you have that, and once you hopefully have a healthy Jaren Jackson Jr., that's where things start to really lock down on that side of the ball. I thought Ja's defense was better yesterday. Sometimes he gets a knock for being a bit of a traffic cone. I thought there was a real intent from Ja on leveling up. It's not perfect. Like, I'm not saying there weren't moments where, especially one like I forget who it was. He was in someone's face, and then he let him get around him and had an easy bucket. And I was like, oh, just stay with him. But then, no what?
No, he's not going to stay with him.
No, he wasn't going to stay with him. But I did think that he was better there. And Desmond Bain, I think, can continue to improve as a defender as well. I don't worry about this team's defense. I don't.
It feels like, going back to the earlier statement, they want to play really good defense for like 10 seconds, and then whatever happens after that happens. They want the ball because they want the possessions. It feels like that's what they want. And so if that's how you're playing defense, hey, all I have to do is get up into you and then wait for you to miss dribble.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, I can do that for 6 seconds. That feels like the mentality of some of the dudes on the team, which if that's the system you're running, that's great because you don't really care about any of that. You want to give them a low percentage open shot. You want to give them whatever the equivalent of a Brandon Clark wing 3, whatever the equivalent is of that for whichever team you're playing. You want to give them that shot as soon as possible, have them take it, rebound it, and go. That's just what you want to do. And so Ja Morant's defense, and I'll throw Desmond Bain in there also, it looks better because they are playing with more intensity for like 6 or 7 seconds into the shot clock. And then by the time, if you're strong enough with your ball and you want to get late into the shot clock, I don't think that defense is going to hold up at all. And again, I think that's by design.
Mm-hmm.
They just want possessions, man.
Can I say it? Can I say my daily speak into existence? Desmond Bain for All-Star. Is it too early? It's never too early. If I was doing it in the preseason, I have to do it after night 1. 24 points. He took 20 shots. He led the team in shot attempts yesterday. I'm fine with that. Desmond Bain can lead the team in shot attempts any night of the week. 8 of 20 from the field, 4 of 10 from 3. I love this team under the direction of Morant and Desmond Bain. Like, it is not hyperbolic to say that by the end of the year, they could be discussed as one of the best backcourts in the NBA, the best backcourt in the NBA, and it's been a minute since we've seen it in action, but I thought last night just showed they're another year older. They've already been great together, and what this team can do flourishing under the two of them. They combined for 14 assists. Ja had 10 of those assists last night. Nice to see a double-double for Ja to start this thing off. But I just thought it was incredibly encouraging. There was a maturity factor that I saw with both of them. Saw it with Jaren on the bench as well. Even saw it with Santi Aldama. After he did his walk-off interview with Rob Fisher and was going back, he was met by all of the coaches who have been so excited to see like this version of Santi unleashed. And this is a true little anecdote. I remember I was talking with a former member of the front office back when Santi Aldama was drafted. And she told me that their vision for Santi Aldama was what excited a lot of people the most with this team, like what he could turn into. And so last night felt like that coming to fruition. But like Santi ran back to make sure Jaren was good. Like Jaren hates sitting on the bench. And so Santi wanted to go back and like give some love to Jaren Jackson Jr. Ja, you saw him doing tons of just like coaching reps with Zach Edey on the court. Every time Zach Edey had a bad moment, I felt like Ja was immediately there not in his face, but you know what I mean. Like they're coaching him through it on the court, trying to make sure, hey, this is what went wrong. This is what you can do better next time. Saw that from Desmond Bain, saw that from Marcus Smart a little bit as well. It's a good place for the team to be in. It's night 1, it's game 1, but it was a good night 1. You don't want to be on the opposite side of that where you're like, oh man, I have 25 things that I hated. The thing I hated the most was that the Jazz took 45 free throws last night. That's what I hated the most. Come on, NBA officials.
What do you mean? Come on,
we don't
they
have
were
to do
fouls.
this.
What are you talking
We do not have to have 45 free throws in a game. I'm sorry, 45 plus 32 is math.
Come on, let's go.
77.
There you go. Sound it out.
That's a lot. That game went long.
Yeah.
It was
check
late.
it out. You got to tell these dudes to defend better. Stop fouling. Those were fouls. I didn't see a single foul call where it's like, oh no, that's not a foul. No, they're playing poor defense. I will say, going back to the Desmond Bain of it all, if you're the Grizzlies and you can go 9 for 20 from 3 with Bain and Santi combined, you take that.
Yeah.
You take that. Those are going to be until Luke Kennard
Please don't
comes
leave
back.
Jay Huff out.
Well, what's that take it to? Like 12 of 20?
12 of 25.
5?
Yeah.
That's damn near 50% right there. You absolutely want to take that. And you can substitute or keep Jay Huff there and then substitute some of those shots that were taken by Brandon Clark with shots that'll probably be taken by Luke Kennard. Some of those
eventually
shots
you get to Gigi
that are
Jackson
taken
and Vince
by,
Williams Jr.
Marcus Smart will be shots taken by Gigi Jackson, right? So you would substitute those shooting performances for somebody else who's out, and you will see that three-point percentage, I do believe, go up even higher. The Grizzlies have the way that they're playing right now, they have the shooters. They have enough shooters to be able to, that warrants this style of play being successful. I love the Desmond Bain flare cut off of the top.
Yeah.
Top of the key, Desmond Bain flare cut. Morant makes great passes over there. Wide the hell open. You saw it in the highlights. That's going to be a great play for this team. That's every team has that one play where it's like, hey, if we had to take this shot for $1 billion, this is our money shot play. That is their money shot play. I can't wait to see it.
That's a good one. All right, Grizzlies win last night, 126-124. They get the night off tonight before they are back in action on the road against the Houston Rockets. The Rockets, one of the surprising outcomes last night, they lost to the Hornets. Charlotte Hornets beat the Rockets 110-105. It was a massive night for LaMelo Ball, who had 34 points, 11 assists, and 8 rebounds in the win. There was no Steven Adams. He was a late scratch for the Rockets last night. We'll see if he is in action tomorrow against his former team. It'll be Dillon Brooks. First time that Ja Morant will have the opportunity to play against Dillon Brooks and Steven Adams, because he didn't play in a game against the Rockets last year. So that should be a lot of fun. And then the Grizzlies come home for their home opener on Saturday against the Orlando Magic. We'll take a quick break here. We'll talk more NBA in the third segment, some of the happenings from last night, along with the overtime game between the Suns and the Clippers. But next we have to get to our favorite, Teresa Walker. She joins us each and every Thursday. We'll catch up with her, see if she caught the Grizzlies game last night, plus all the happenings of the Titans. DeAndre Hopkins is gone, some other transactions from them as they go into another week trying not to start the season 1-6. Teresa Walker on the other side.
Yellow laces, really bright yellow primary color. You got black on the trim and on the edges.
I gotta get 'em.
And you got some red there as well. Look at that right there, Mike. Look at that right there.
Man, look at that G. Look at that G, boy. That G is moving strong right there, too, man.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Hot Wheels fans, don't miss the exciting return of Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow Party at FedEx Forum. Don't miss the world premiere of Stegosaurus. Watch your favorite Hot Wheels monster trucks light up the floor, including Gungster, Bone Shaker, and the legendary Bigfoot. Plus the dazzling dance party, laser light show, and more. And save up to 50% on kids' tickets. Don't miss this one-of-a-kind Hot Wheels experience at FedEx Forum, November 2nd and 3rd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com.
At Southland Casino Hotel, it's time to work hard, play hard with our $500,000 giveaway. Earn entries October through November 9th and take home free play and amazing prizes on select Saturdays, including a big rig. Stay connected on social media for weekly drawing clues. Join us November 9th for the grand finale drawing, where you could drive off in a four-wheeler, side-by-side, or big rig. Work hard and play harder at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Justin Timberlake. I'm bringing sexy back. The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now. If I get jealous, I can't help it. For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
One of the things I really do like about the history of the Memphis Grizzlies is that we have people who have moved here and stayed here. I like how much some of those guys have not only made millions here and won games here, but spent real time here and raised children here.
Yes.
And become a real part of the community.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You know, we got to talk about Scottie Pippen Jr. Scottie has inked that contract, and he is now officially off the two-way. He is a member of the regular rotation.
Well deserved, from my opinion. Like, he straight up earned this one from all the time put in last season with the injuries to Summer League.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Yawn. You can talk.
Welcome back. If you're joining us live,
Go ahead,
yes, I was going to say, if you're joining us live, our chat question of the day is, how did you feel about game one for the Grizzlies? With 43% of the vote so far, very good. Imagine the Grizz healthy. It's true. Imagine them healthy. Great, going 82-0 this season, baby, 35%. Tempered excitement, it's a long year, 16%. You guys are the slow burn, not the aggressive optimists. That's what I'm calling myself now after one game. Aggressive optimists. Or honestly kind of disappointed. I don't know who you are who voted for that, but like, you gotta win. Settle it down. So vote on the chat question of the day. Smash that like button to help send us to the algorithm moon. And we now welcome in our favorite, Teresa Walker. She joins us every Thursday. Teresa, were you able to catch any of the Grizzlies game last night?
I, of course, paid attention. And isn't it funny? It's like we all kind of knew that Ja would still be that Ja once on the court. And it's like so many people. It's like, is our society gotten to the microwave point that the attention spans truly are that of gnats? I mean,
I thought you were going to say got to the microwave point where our brains are fried and people forget.
Well, my brain is fried, but then it's late October. And, now all the seasons are on, right? NHL, NBA, NFL, the Titans are sellers. Tennessee and Vandy are fighting for the SEC spot in Atlanta. I mean, cats and dogs are sleeping together. I mean, it's that time of year where it's just insane. But yes, and the funny thing is I have a friend who's on Survivor this season. So I have to watch Survivor every Wednesday night. Sam is in the Titans media corps.
No way.
Really. And he's not dropped. They do a good job of making you not breathe a word. I mean, he has given us no hints whatsoever, but I get to go in. I have to watch it so that I can go in on a Thursday and pick at him. And like, he finally tried pineapple last night for the first time as a human being. And I'm like, he said it, Sam's a pineapple man. So, yeah. So
Teresa, we may need to get Sam's contact information and holler at Sam at some point this year.
I'm fascinated by this.
It is. And that's the thing. So, kind of watched him do the tryout process and get on it, and then wasn't sure which show he'd be on till he literally got back, because they filmed 2 shows kind of like back to back apparently, and he's on the fall one. So it's like every Wednesday night is must-see TV for me. But I did keep up with the Grizzlies, and I do know that there are a lot of college fans saying, see, we told you Zach Edey struggled if he actually called fouls on him. But hey, let's give the guy a break. It is his first game, right? And I love the clip of Taylor and Ja dancing on the sidelines. I mean, the fun is back, right? And this is a team that is still. Jaren sat out last night with a little hammy. Luke wasn't there. Gigi still got a couple more months to go, maybe. Vince is dealing with his thing. So they are not at full strength. But we saw Marcus Smart and Ja kind of showing off a little bit, giving a little reminder, hey, these guys play ball. And, oh, yeah, you forgot, but they're pretty good.
Yes,
fun, right?
And we got to see our favorite sideline action from Yuki Kawamura, who might be the best hype man on an NBA bench this season. Like, I will be looking for Yuki reactions at all times for everything now.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
I'm going to have to find a challenger.
Not still on the bench?
Thanasis has an Achilles injury, so he can't get up.
Thanasis is incredible.
He can't get up.
But this is a great celebration by Yuki. I will concede that point to you.
It comes right here. Look at that. A little raise the roof. They also, if you have not, Santi Aldama retweeted that tweet. Go watch it because the call is in Japanese, and my new part-time hobby is going to be finding Japanese calls of Grizzlies plays because it sounds so cool.
Well, there was in the Vandy, Alabama game, there was somebody pulled up a Japanese call of the go-ahead touchdown, I think, for Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
And in Japanese, I'm sorry, but the excitement level, when I'm watching hockey, they get excited when somebody's about to score. So it's like, and so it's Japanese callers are at 11. It seems like all the time, right?
Yes.
It's like when soccer announcers go, "Go!"
Yeah.
It's
similar
just
energy.
fun. And that's why we watch sports, right? Is to have a little fun.
It's to have fun, and shout out to the Grizzlies, all international team with Santi Aldama, Spain, Yuki Kawamura, Zach Edey, and Brandon Clark, Canada. We're just going to keep adding. We have a Finnish coach. It's all across the world. But Teresa, not so great times for the Tennessee Titans. I did beg you, plead with you, for them to please free DeAndre Hopkins from his situation. And they sure did. Nothing like going to sleep a member of a team that's 1-5 and waking up and you're a member of a team that's 6-0 and would like to repeat as Super Bowl champions. Am I right?
Absolutely. He goes to a team that not only are they the defending Super Bowl champs, they're the back-to-back Super Bowl champs, and they've won three. They've played in 4 and won 3 of the last 5 Super Bowls. I mean, and guess what? Patrick Mahomes, DeAndre Hopkins, they're not going to have a problem getting on the page together quickly. Fills the need for the Chiefs. And trust me, I have heard from so many Titan fans, what are they doing? I'm not going to get my tickets. I've spent so much money. It's like, listen, this is the worst start to a season since 2015. It was the Ken Wisenhunt era when he went 1-6.
Shout out Showboats.
Exactly. Hey Ken, if you're listening, it's nice to see you again. But the fact is this: they go 1-6. They're going into Detroit on Sunday. I mean, the odds are not good. They're double-digit dogs, and and I've got people saying, well, they spent all this money. They tried to put talent on this roster. It didn't work out. They're cutting their losses. Instead of riding the ship to the bottom of the ocean, they're unloading the pieces. They got so hammered. Remember last year when people were like, we're not going anywhere. We need to trade Derrick Henry. We didn't get nothing for him. Look at him. He's in Baltimore. Well, guess what? Ernest Jones is on a 1-year deal. DeAndre Hopkins was in on an expiring contract. They got draft picks and actually netted a couple out of the Ernest Jones deal because they traded for him at the end of the preseason from the Rams. And the way this whole works out, they ended up with 2 picks out of this guy. I mean, so they now have last count 8 draft picks for next April. And yes, they're going to try to see what they got in Will Levis, but they may end up being in the quarterback market again next April. So they've got to, they're trying to put things in, and everyone's like, somebody needs to be fired. And it's like, well, who do you fire at this point? At a certain point, you've got to stop and just try to build. They spent a ton of money. They had a ton of money. They still have a lot of cap space. And if they do, trade deadline's November 5th, there is still some more guys they could get rid of. Harold Landry, they've got an out potentially in his contract after this season. And he's the highest paid person on this roster right now. He is easily the guy who you could see going out of the door next. And at this point, yes, you get as many draft picks as you can get to maximize what looks to be arguably their first top 10 pick since going 5 overall in 2017. So you gave it a try. You tried to put talent around Will Levis. You tried to make this work. It's not. And so they are now trying to, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Not saying that D-Hop is trash. I'm just saying, think what a selling point that is for Rand next March when free agents come to town. If it doesn't work out, we're going to try and get you to a better place. They did that at the end of the preseason. Remember, they traded the rookie kicker who made a 59-yarder to Green Bay. Now, he kicked in a lot of games and lost his job because he struggled up there, but they gave him a chance at another job in the NFL. DeAndre Hopkins goes to a team that is in competition to be playing in yet another Super Bowl. So it's a win-win in a way, except for the Titan fans who have tickets that are already bought for the rest of the season. And I remember in 2014-15, in December, if you've never been to a Titans game, keep an eye on StubHub. Why? Or SeatGeek is their official partner now. Why? Tickets were $2 at the end there. And when they went 5-27, you could get a ticket for $2. Okay. And hey, if you've never been to an NFL game, why not?
Now could be your time. I am curious, as you mentioned, Titans could be back in the quarterback market next year. To you, did the DeAndre Hopkins trade signal a more assured end to the Will Levis era? Is it disconnected from that? No, not at all.
No, because you still have to evaluate them. And what we saw them do this last week is they went heavy with tight ends, right? And, they still have Tyler Boyd for now. Stay tuned on that. Calvin Ridley is the guy that the pressure is now on. They gave him a 4-year deal, right? Worth up to $94 million. They spent something like, in total money, not counting guaranteed, but total price of contracts, around $290 million. There are plenty of guys on this roster that are, and now some of the younger guys get a chance. Jaquan Jackson, they've loved him on returns. He knows every receiving position on this roster. He's a young guy, a rookie draft pick who's going to get more chances. So other guys are going to get a chance to step up. But, it was funny at the end of that Buffalo game, and Brian Callahan was asked about it again. It's like, did he really have some lower leg soreness? And he goes, that's what I was told. And Diop played 44 snaps that game. But at the end of that game, man, they're on the field, and you could just see him looking at Callahan. The foreshadowing was heavy. And you just felt, any of us who've played sports that are on the bench and we know we're better than somebody that's out on the field, we've all given our coach that look at one point or another, right? What's he doing keeping me here? I should be out there.
Teresa, big college football game in Nashville this weekend. Words I never thought I'd be saying, but now I'm so delighted that I get to say fairly regularly, thanks to the Vanderbilt Commodores as they host Texas. Now, I want to get your official capital J journalist take on a tweet that was going viral yesterday. It's claiming that Vanderbilt had put temporary netting up at First Bank Stadium ahead of their game against Texas. This follows the Texas fans now notoriously last week throwing things on the field after they were angry about the pass interference call in their game against Georgia that ended up getting taken back after, or overturned, I should say, after all of those bottles ended up on the field. But these are the pictures of the netting. Is this real or is this satire?
At the moment, I lean towards satire.
Hey.
But the reason is this. Yes, that is where the traditional visitor seating is in that stadium. But did you watch the Bama game? It was essentially a Bama home game, except that we know that if they played in the state of Alabama, they'd have more fans there. Vanderbilt is still the smallest stadium in the SEC. It's under construction. So one end zone is completely unavailable. So I think it feels more like a troll job. But trust me, when I go on the field Saturday, because I have to go across that side of the end zone of the stadium to go across and get up to the press box, I will do a look-see. I will take a picture and tweet it out to either confirm or deny that the net is there. I promise. I do it today, but I got things to do. And Clark Lee does speak today, so there might be an actual journalist. But one tip, did you see the names on that Twitter account?
I know. I got so excited. I have to learn. I've already gotten got by NBA Centel like 4 times this season. I really need to be on my P's and Q's. This is misinformation season, Teresa, so even Vandy football is not immune.
It is always misinformation season. You've always got somebody bitter out there who's trying to sway you on one thing or another. I'll just say this, Texas, you're in the SEC now. Up your game. If you're going to throw stuff on the field, bring a mustard bottle, golf balls. Come on. Raise the roof, baby.
The golf balls are so scary. I was at that game. People were texting me after the Ole Miss Tennessee game that year, and they were like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yes, I bought cheap seats, and I am at the very top of Neyland Stadium. So no, I've never felt okay because I felt like I was swaying the entirety of the game, but I am nowhere near the golf balls and mustard bottles being thrown. It is remarkable that this is a top 25 game, Teresa. I mean, not because of like how the season's gone for Vandy, but if at the beginning of the year you had told me Vanderbilt would be ranked in the top 25, well, I would have believed you because I've been on the Diego Pavia train the whole time.
Beginning of the year, they just lost to Georgia State.
Whatever.
They were 2-1 at one point with a loss to Georgia State.
I know, and I was feeling so high after the Virginia Tech win, and then they lost to Georgia State, and I was like, maybe it's more of the same. But ultimately, and they lost to Missouri, too. Like, they're a 2-loss team with losses to Georgia State and Missouri. I know.
They are 7 points away from being undefeated. I know, if they made the kick in regulation. Part of this is Vanderbilt learning to win. There's so many new faces on this roster, and, 51 players that Clark Lee brought in. And part of his message is, expect to be playing in big games. Yeah. Know that this is, Alabama was nice, but here comes Texas. And then after Texas, you've got this, you've got that. There's still, guys, I'm looking forward to their game at Auburn. But they also still have South Carolina and I think Mississippi State.
No, LSU and Tennessee.
Thank you. So that LSU game is on the road. That is a tough one because it's at Baton Rouge. So that's going to be a tough one. But, the Vandy fans are feeling it. Somebody tweeted over the weekend, Vandy's going to beat Tennessee by 17 to wrap up this regular season. And I'm like, okay, that's some serious confidence there. It makes me almost want to put money on it just because, Vandy fans are feeling their oats, and good. This is a new SEC. It is so new and so open that Vanderbilt is literally in the middle of the pack. And you look at the bottom of the SEC, and the team that has been called the I'm going to mess this up, perennial cellar dweller.
It's like, what's a perennial?
Where did that word come from? Perennial cellar dweller. This is why I usually write for a reason, folks. My tongue gets in my way every time. But they can say, we can win this thing. We can go to Atlanta this year. And guess what? That chance is there for them.
We could end up with a college
if
football playoff.
If they go to Atlanta, we're going. I'm sorry.
We could end up with a college football playoff that has Vanderbilt, Pitt, SMU, and Indiana in it. Oh, and by the way, one of Army or Navy. This is going to be great.
This is the greatest sport in the world.
And remember when they said if you expand the playoffs that it'll be boring, that it'll lessen the importance every week in the regular season? Wrong. It makes each game matter that much more. That's what's so much fun about this.
It is.
And now I'll say, we still got just over a month plus to go. So calm down. It still feels like things will shake out at the end. But the analogy that I've been using is that for this year in college athletics, it's like somebody took a puzzle that was completed and just threw it in the air. We're still waiting to see where the pieces land and what this ends up looking like, because it is a different world. NIL, transfer portal, you name it. And real quick, a line that Rick Barnes, the Tennessee basketball coach, used Monday at the Knoxville Quarterback Club, NIL, he said it's always been around. It just kind of now stands for now it's legal. So props to Rick for owning it.
Teresa, you're the best. Get some rest. We love you. We'll see you next week. That is Teresa Walker. She joins us each and every Thursday. You can follow her on Twitter at Teresa M. Walker. I'll tell you who's not going to the college football playoff. The Liberty Flames. They got flamed last night. Liberty, they were a team. I don't know if you follow the Liberty Flames, but they were a team in contention for the college football playoff.
What their mascot is for real?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Okay. Shout out to the Flames.
There's nothing scarier for that school than flames. That's how they live.
I mean, I would think premarital sex would be pretty scary.
Okay, like both right up there. We'll talk about Liberty's insane loss last night. They were 26.5-point favorites. We're also going to talk about other games from the NBA. What? What are you laughing at?
Liberty seems like they only recruit the dudes like Donald Trump. And by like Donald Trump, I mean dudes that don't like to be tackled by the unsavories.
Go away.
That's what they seem like they recruit.
They lost to Kennesaw State last night.
It must have been a whole lot of unsavories.
I want to talk about the
Intuit
Intuit Dome. I want to talk about the Clippers' new arena because it is Gaudy with a capital G, and everybody is going to be trying to figure out how they can have a place as cool as the Clippers have now. But wait until you see how much it costs to park there, because you might never go to a game. It makes me roll mad. We'll talk about it when we come back.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping. It's gonna be crazy. The fans are gonna be loud. We need just energy.
Back to Jerry.
We're going to need, the form rocking. We're going to need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support. When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bain 3, yes sir! Desmond Bain with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
One of the things I really do like about the history of the Memphis Grizzlies is that we have people who have moved here and stayed here. I like how much some of those guys have not only made millions here and won games here, but spent real time here and raised children here.
Yes.
And become a real part of the community.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
We got to talk about Scottie Pippen Jr. Scottie has inked that contract. He is now officially off the two-way. He is a member of the regular rotation.
Well deserved, from my opinion. He straight up earned this one from all the time put in last season with the injuries to Summer League.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
John Cena was spilling life lessons on this stream, bro. So the best thing I watched all week, John Cena on the Cassinet stream. By the way, he stole your hairdo. You got to make a phone call.
I was about to say, you showed me a little bit of this clip because I saw the messy room, and the only thing I could see is John Cena's hair. I mean, come on, bro.
He stole your bar.
It's literally identical.
He stole your flow, bar for bar, word for word.
How is mine more gray than his, though?
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back. For those asking what we're drafting today, we're not. We didn't come up with a draft for today. Man, I'm out of practice. I'm out of shape. I showed up to camp out of shape, and I'm still trying to get into it for the season. Doing those highlights killed me. Absolutely killed me trying to cut them between last night, staying up for the game, turning around, waking up this morning, and cutting those. Plus, I had to go to the 3-on-3, the Memphis Grizzlies 3-on-3 tournament yesterday.
Did anybody pop an Achilles?
I don't think so. It did make me really nervous. I watch people's calves obsessively now. Like, if I'm staring at you while you play basketball and I'm staring at your calves, I apologize. I have no choice. It's just where my eyes are drawn. I'm like, oh, did you stretch? Did you keep it going? Devin Walker played. Devin can hoop.
He's a nice little guard.
He's a good little basketball player. Yeah.
Good. I've ran with Devin a time or two.
Some scrappy defense.
We played together well.
I was
Our
impressed.
skill set complement. I'm more of a traditional power forward. I can't do that small ball stuff, so I'm just in the block on the post, and Devin's on the perimeter, and every now and then I hit him with a screen, and he hits me on the roll. We got a not quite Stockton and Malone, but I feel like if we work together, we could be Stockton and Malone. In this analogy, I want to be Stockton because I
was there to cheer you on, and you weren't there.
I didn't.
I showed up in basketball shorts, my jersey from the last one, because last time around they gave us jerseys. They say Memphis Grizzlies 3-on-3 tournament. Wore that jersey. I wore it for my last physical therapy appointment as like I did it. I came back from this terrible thing that happened. I'm not sure I had washed it. I'm not. It was gnarly. I was like, stay away from me. I was so embarrassed. It was so gross. Like, I got there and I recognized, because I had mentoring yesterday, so I wore normal clothes to mentoring and then changed in the car. And I put that thing on and I was like, oh, this was a choice. But I also put a headband on. So I walked in there and I was like, Had my jaws on. I was ready to go.
Anybody say, hey, no, you're not playing?
I posted a picture, and Pugs came all the way down just to make sure that I was not actually playing in the 3-on-3 tournament. Everybody was just like, no, get off the court. We don't want you in here. I was like, you don't want, that's harsh. The Jessica Benson Memorial, Achilles Memorial. I have to stop killing myself off, just my Achilles, my God. It's bad news. It went on without a hitch, though. I think everyone played wonderfully. I don't know who won, but if you're out there, congratulations on your success, and congratulations for ending the night with both of your Achilles still intact. All right, let's talk about some of the other NBA action from last night. Outside of the game itself, Suns beat the Clippers 116-113 in overtime. That's good. That's great. It was the first game in the Intuit Dome, the Clippers' new $2 billion, billion with a B, arena in Inglewood, and this place is insane. This is their 4K Halo board. This is incredible. I feel like I'm in the sphere in like a mini sphere in Las Vegas. They have, obviously, video production running on it at all times. At times, I think they had updates on other games on the inside ring that you can look into. Like, this is going to be the new standard of Jumbotron. We can't even call this a Jumbotron. Like, what do we call this?
This is something different.
A ring
this
of...
This is like two Jumbotrons got together and
a jumbo
made
ring?
Something. Are we calling it a ring? A jumbo ring?
I mean, it's a circle.
It is a circle. Is there another circle name?
Oval?
Other than ring? We got ovals. We got
synonym
for circle. Well, sphere. It would have to be
more,
closed.
Yeah.
It would have to be closed to be a sphere.
And
what about
Oriole?
parabola? Is a parabola?
A parabola
circular?
is more like a.
Okay.
Isn't a parabola a little more loosey goosey?
You know what?
An orbit? How about an orbit? A jumbo orbit.
Call it the jumbo orbit.
I like the orbit.
Yeah, the orbit.
Okay.
The orbit and the Intuit.
It's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, everyone's getting so excited about this new arena. It's just an arena. How cool could it be?
The storm. We saw the storm effects this summer.
It's pretty.
Yeah, that's dope stuff right there.
It's pretty cool.
That's fun.
They also have this thing called the Wall. They're the first team because they're building this new arena. So it's built specifically where it is 51 straight rows of seats that are all dedicated for Clippers fans behind the basket. And the first 13 of those rows are for like the diehard of the diehards. And they make sure that they are the ones in the building. And we saw it in play last night. Kevin Durant missed 2 free throws. And Kevin Durant even talked about it afterwards. Both KD, Devin Booker talked about it, and they said it really did affect things. Like, KD said all he could do was stare into it, and that it was certainly there. It was loud. You see it. It's really cool. It gives you a college vibe to it, but it's straight up. It's super steep, and it really does feel like a wall.
Your mind went college. My mind went Euro.
Yeah.
And at some point, now I've wanted this over here since I first saw the tweet, because I feel like maybe 2 or 3 times a year we get a tweet from over there, and it's just smoke. It's somebody's brought in the little torches, and it's just bright green or orange or neon blue or something like that, and smoke is going everywhere. And ever since I've saw it over there, I've wanted it here, and we're getting closer to that. At some point, I would imagine we get the smoke flares from Ballmer and from the Clippers in the Intuit, and that's just going to be like, can you imagine in like a playoff type situation? Game 7, you're playing into it. I don't know how long it's going to take them to get back to the playoffs. I don't think they're there this year. But God, even in a play-in, you're playing in the Intuit, and that is going on, and it's all different colors, smoke blowing in the stands. That would be incredible.
I mean, if anyone could figure out how to do a safe version of that, it would be Steve Ballmer. Like, he is the mad scientist behind the $2 billion arena and the Halo board and the Wall, and he was in there with them yesterday. That man has a lot of energy at all times.
What a dweeb.
No.
Yes. You can be fun. Look at this. This is great. Look at him yelling at the fans. Shout out to the yell leader also. If you're going to do this for the first time, you need somebody to tell everybody, hey, this is what we do.
These are the chants. These are the cheers. I agree.
I need to learn these chants, by the way. I'd love, if I can get to the standing room only in that section, I'd love to be there for that.
Yeah, you have to stand the whole time.
No sitting
it reminds
over
me of my little summer adventure to La Bombonera. in Argentina
Yes.
at the Boca Juniors
Soccer
game.
does
Like,
a good
yeah,
job
yeah,
of
yeah.
this. International soccer specifically.
International
Oh, well,
sports does a good job of it, period.
901 F soccer, just not
Sure.
soccer in general, because 901 FC does this.
Yeah. And once you know the chance, you know the chance, but you have to learn them because this is a whole new thing. So it is cool to see the owner of the team. And like Steve Ballmer's always there. You always see him. He's sweating. He's into it. He was devastated when they lost that game last night. It would have been cool if they got a win night one. I'm just impressed that it was a close game considering no Kawhi for weeks is the latest that we've had on that. But Harden had a really good game and sent it to overtime. Had a chance to win in overtime, but couldn't get it done.
He paid for that himself, correct?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he got city money. I don't want to give him credit for something if he didn't do it, but I'm pretty sure, like,
yes,
that's him.
All cash.
So.
No.
No, it's not him.
I think it is him.
Okay, we'll confirm whether or not it's him before I give him praise for doing the right thing.
But that is, if you're a billionaire with a team and you want, that's
you build your own arena.
$2 billion. You want the halo? See, why do we call it the orbit? It's called the halo. I like the halo.
Jessica,
See your halo, halo,
stop it.
halo. Do your halo, halo.
Stop it. Quit it. We sing too much on this show. Very poorly.
Speak for yourself. It's a musical. Always.
The show is a musical?
Yeah, it's a musical.
Oh, the fans are going to get upset. They didn't know that.
Oh, they hate when
they're going to leave that review.
Hate when they get into something.
Do they know
and then
Wicked
find
is
out
a
it's
musical?
Musical. I think they do. They have to know Wicked's
Are you
a
sure?
musical. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they don't. Oh, speaking of Wicked in the musical, let me tell you, I hate the new Target commercial.
Oh, let's get to that in
I'm
Peter
becoming one of you
Thursday.
theater people.
I hate the new Target commercial too. Okay, let's be perfectly clear. Chris Luther turned to me yesterday. He goes, "James Wiseman's on the Pacers?" And I was like, yes, James Wiseman's on the Pacers. Although poor James Wiseman, I don't know if he's going to play the rest of the season. I swore that man tore his Achilles yesterday.
Hold on, before we get to another Achilles prediction by Jessica Jane Benson.
I'm not a doctor. I just tore my Achilles once.
Are we going to talk about the cost to park at Intuit Dome?
Oh, yes. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I didn't mean to just skate on past that. It is $70 for
no way in
general
hell.
parking.
Ain't no way in
$70. And this actually, like, all jokes aside, this makes me so mad because if you turn sports into something that only the super rich people can enjoy, what are we doing? Like, that takes away from families, that takes away from kids, that takes away from actual fans. You just showed that beautiful, they built the wall, and you can't just put rich people up on the wall because they don't know how to do the chants and the cheers and to stand on their feet. They want to sit in their box and drink their little free drinkies and free chicken tendies, but you want the real ones to come, and I get it. You don't have to drive, you don't have to park. Like, LA does have public transportation, and you could ride share and all that, but you shouldn't have to think about that because you should not be ever in a situation where after buying a ticket for something, you have to pay $70 for parking.
How much is it to park in LA?
Expensive everywhere.
Okay. So
This took me back. I was like, oh.
To park everywhere?
Not 70.
50?
Like, even if you go to the mall, it's like $20 to park.
Oh, ain't no
which
way
is
in hell.
insane. There's so many parking garages that you get suckered into because street parking is impossible. You've seen the signs where it's like 10 different signs symbolizing when you can park on a street, and they make it so confusing. So you're either going to get towed or they're street cleaning or ticketed or whatever, or booted because you couldn't figure out how to read the sign of if you could or could not park in the spot for a time. So that's how they bait you into parking in these garages or parking in these lots. But $70 is, if you paid for a ticket to something, I'm not going to say parking should be included. I understand that there are like costs associated with this, and it's a business, and money needs to get made, but that's a lot of money.
They're saying in the chat, I'm trying to figure out how much it usually costs to park.
I mean, I remember growing up and going to like Nuggets games or Rockies games, whatever the game.
LA.
I know, but I'm saying in Denver, which is a bigger city. Like in Memphis, if you asked me to pay to park, I'd be like, please, what are you talking about? But in Colorado, or like specifically downtown Denver, I want to say, like, it would be considered uber expensive if you paid $20 to park in a lot. Like, you could go further down the street and get it for $8, and just walk a little bit further. But that wasn't the garage directly attached. That was the parking lot. And it was like tiered off by how far back in the parking lot you would park. Like, how much would you pay for parking?
Never.
Again, that's something that's like
Never.
a great thing of Memphis. And I know like fans here have to pay for parking. Something. I don't know what it is. As an employee.
Yeah, they pay something to park. I wouldn't know what it is, not only as an employee, but we weren't always employees over here. Whenever I came to a game, I'd find some place to park that wasn't going to cost me any money. I don't believe in paying to park. So I will take the public transportation to and fro, right? We were in D.C. a couple of years ago, like 2018, and D.C. is one of those major cities. And so to go where you want to get to, you have to pay to park, or you at the very least, if you're not going to be able to park on the street, you got to pay the parking garages.
Right.
F that. We'll take this damn subway and walk every damn where we got to go. I'm not paying to park, no.
I'm thinking of all the most expensive parking situations I ever found myself in. Rose Bowl always drives it up. And you're parking on like the golf course that surrounds the Rose Bowl, or you're parking in people's homes. And I remember for the infamous Beyonce concert that I got kicked out of because my friend threw up on someone in front of us, never forget. Our car was triple parked in a house, and we had to pay $50 to triple park in that house. And I remember being so mad that I paid all that money for parking just to not be able to leave and go pick up my friend from the Pasadena emergency room where they took her and transported her during that event. So that, I think $50 was, because I remember like having a visceral reaction to paying that much money for parking.
Nashville has, funny you bring up $50, visceral reaction. I had one. Nashville has like an African American music museum.
Okay.
Something along those lines downtown. I do believe it's off Broad. And if it's not off Broad, forgive me. I'm not familiar with where exactly it is. But anyways, we were going to go. We're like, okay, we'll buy tickets. Tickets were going to run maybe like $40, $45. I can't remember exactly. Somewhere between $40 and $60 is what the tickets for one person to go to get into the museum. We were looking for parking. It was like, oh, we can park here. And they wanted $50 effing to park. No.
Wrong.
Damn that.
Wrong answers only.
No, I know how much I'm not going to pay to park.
That.
50. I'm damn sure not doing that. No.
That's crazy.
You have a chance at 10. Anything over 10, ain't no way in hell, dog. I will park on the moon and walk my ass back down. I'm not doing that.
But that's the problem, is like when you start paying, because then it's a trickle effect where then you're paying $50 to still walk a mile to where you're trying to go watch a game. I'm not saying this is their garage, and I have not been to the Intuit Dome because it did not exist when I lived there. It just opened. But I don't know how their parking situation.
Jack Ford World is in the chat right now. He's like, yeah, it's $45 to park in Nashville. Ain't no way. To be where? In the Gulch and watch the tractors go by?
I got a ticket in the Gulch. I didn't pay for parking in the Gulch. I got ticketed immediately. I just went in to get a coffee. I literally parked in a Gulch parking spot, and Chris was with me, and I blame Chris always. This is such a man thing. Yeah. You're not going to get a ticket. You're not going to get a ticket.
We caught a ticket in St. Louis.
I was so mad. I was like, I'm not even trying to take a picture with the dumb angel wings. I just want a coffee. We were just trying to get a cup of coffee on our way back, and we parked, and I came out and had a parking ticket. He paid it.
Well, yeah, that's what you have to do as a dude.
That's on you. I just was going to mention the injuries from last night, which were kind of stinky. DeJounte Murray fractured his hand, which stinks for the Pelicans to start the season. Also, Zion Williamson missed their opening game with an illness, not an injury, an illness, but that's something to keep an eye on. And then the James Wiseman injury, like former Memphis Tiger James Wiseman, who now plays for the Indiana Pacers, but they're calling it a calf injury. There hasn't been any update as of this morning, but I swear I saw the clip of this and I was like, yep, he did it. He did it. And I know I say that all the time. I am definitely guilty of pre-Achilles diagnosing people, but the way he looked at the back of his leg, that's exactly what happened to me. Like, it feels like somebody kicks you in the back of the calf, and you're like, who would kick me? And why did I just hear a gunshot? And then you're like, oh, shoot, I'm in an immense amount of pain. But he did walk off, which is remarkable. So there's some like Twitter doctors who said, well, usually it would be a more dramatic reaction if he'd torn his Achilles. Maybe it's just a calf strain. But it looked scary to me. So that's sad. Those were some early James Wiseman minutes into the season. Other scores from last night, the Magic beat the Heat 116-97. Paolo Banchero had 33 and 11. Grizzlies play the Magic here on Saturday. I think that could be a bit of a tricky matchup. You better hope Jaren Jackson Jr. is back for the Grizzlies. Bucks beat the Sixers 124-109. Big night for Giannis. And
big night for Dame.
Say it loud. Say it with your chest.
We've got a new Dame Seifel, if you will, in the chat.
A Dame Seipel?
Yes.
Who is it?
Senior.
No.
Senior has a new player he's focusing all his hatred on.
So he doesn't hate Dame anymore?
He's letting some of the hatred for Dame go.
No way.
Yes.
I'll believe it when I see it. He'll be back.
No. He is infuriated by what's going on in Philadelphia right now.
There was a crazy, too far article from the Philadelphia Inquirer on Joel Embiid. The headline that they put out on Twitter was wild. Joel Embiid disrespects the Sixers, the game, its greats, and himself. I was like, damn, man. He's just trying to save his knees. Give him a break.
The man can't walk.
The man just wants to be able to at least run by the end, jog by the end of the season.
The option is, hey, Joel Embiid, you have to play back-to-backs or retire from basketball. If those are the two options, he'd have to retire from basketball. He would have to. Physically, he simply can't play. We saw him play on the Olympic team. He did his best. Joel Embiid is about as movable as a mountain. He's about as nimble as a tree right now. The man can't move. His body is failing him. He's done. And instead of hanging it up, he's saying, no, I will play quite literally until I can't walk anymore. I just can't do it on back-to-backs. And we're like, no, the game, the disrespect.
What happened to the game I love? I'm like, give the dude a break. Also, disrespecting himself. Come on, he's done so much, including trying to boost the profile of basketball in Africa and being one of the next ambassadors for that. That was nasty work by the Philadelphia Inquirer, but it did its job. Everyone was really mad about it. And then it came full circle. So maybe it was the reverse PR cycle on Joel. It was no, I'm defending Joel Embiid. He deserves to sit out on back-to-backs.
Now, listen, physically he has to. This isn't I don't want to play. This is from a physical standpoint, his knees can't handle that. Do y'all remember what he looked like in the playoffs?
He could barely move.
Come on, man.
It was uncomfortable to watch it. If you, that's a perfect point. I don't want to watch that.
No.
It's uncomfortable for everybody. It feels as if you are watching someone who at one point's knees, he's just going to crumble into a Jell-O mold on the court because the knees can't keep him up anymore. You don't want that. So you have an 82-game season. This is something you have to deal with. But the Sixers are under investigation. By the NBA.
They knew they'd be under investigation, and
likely investigation.
They know they're going to have to pay the fine, and they'll just have to pay it because physically he just can't. And again, the option is either play as many games as your body will allow you to play in an 82-game season, or retire. He would retire because his body can't play 82 games. His body can't play 60 games. That body of his probably got 45 games in him. Right? That's just the case. Derrick Rose, we saw Derrick Rose go through this and continue to go through this up until he retired after his 2 knee injuries. Right? Where it is, hey, the heart wants to, the mind wants to, the body just can't.
The play wants to.
The play wants to. Joel Embiid, they threw this graphic up.
Last year, we were calling him MVP in the middle of the season.
Because they were 31-5, I do believe, in games that he played. That's what it is right now for him and for them and for the NBA. Kawhi Leonard is going to be going through something like this. And I do wonder at times, what would careers look like for Grant Hill or Tracy McGrady or throw Penny Hardaway in there if they were like, hey, listen, let's just slow this all the way down and shut you down back-to-backs. And you just won't play.
Can you hold on a little longer?
Can you hold on a little bit longer? Can we get a little bit more out of those careers by doing so? Listen,
instead, we made the season longer.
If you
and
don't
we put
like
teams
it,
under investigation.
If you're the NBA who doesn't like it, cool. Tell him no, that's not going to be the rule, and just deal with the fact that one of the great players of this generation is just going to have to walk away from the game, and then just live with that, because that's the facts of the situation.
All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, there was a double field storming last night. Fans had to storm the field twice.
Why are we doing that when we get back?
Because it was cinema. This is Theater Thursday.
It's not cinema. Do it right now, please.
It was too cinema. We don't have many chances.
You're talking about who?
Kennesaw State.
Where is
Better
Kennesaw
put respect.
State?
Previously 0-6 Kennesaw State. It's in Kennesaw. It's in Georgia.
Wisconsin?
I actually know that. No, it's in Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That
Kennesaw.
Aren't they the worst team in college
They
football,
sure were.
the video game?
Yes, and they're the worst team in college football reality until last night when they ended the college football playoff hopes and dreams of Liberty. They were 26.5-point underdogs, and they beat Liberty. But there's students who I firmly support. You beat a team, you're 0-6.
No, you don't storm.
You beat a 6-0 team. Yes, you do.
storm
You do too.
You do.
It's your first win ever over an FBS opponent. You absolutely stormed the field.
I didn't know it was the first win
First
ever.
win ever over an FBS opponent. They thought that they had it done here, but there was still technically 1 second left on the clock. So all of these fans storm the field. They celebrate. They're ready to go. There was still 1 second on the clock. So they had to empty the field and allow Liberty to have one last chance to see if they could draw something up to win this game. The coach is hugging his wife. The first FBS victory in program history. The graphics are running. The celebrations have begun. And then it's like, no. Oh, it would have been remarkable.
That would have been incredible.
I would have led with it.
That would have been hilarious.
Would have led with it. But instead, they just had to get everyone off the field and then come back again. He's mad. He's hot.
Get the unsavories off the field. I don't know what part of town they're from.
They had college football hopes and dreams. College football playoff hopes and dreams. Liberty sure did.
Listen, they had small ones. Yeah, absolutely. But that door
There
is
is
shut
indeed
on
1 second left. I don't know why I had never realized that they were the Liberty Flames, and they are a massive Christian school, and so the Flames would be like one of the scariest mascots in the game.
Yeah. I mean, you could say they're flaming.
They flamed out last night.
They did.
Too bad. So sad. Enter another non-power contender. I mean, they've already been entered. It's Boise State. Like, it's going to be Boise State as long as they don't lose, excuse me.
Yeah.
So.
I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
But
we'll talk about that tomorrow with our Riggos. We'll take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll do a little Theater Thursday. CJ is mad at the Target commercial. I know the fact that I know exactly which Target commercial he is speaking of means that we are on the same page, and I'm mad about it as well. There's also a new Netflix rom-com that is coming out that might just be our greatest. It is not a Hallmark holiday movie, but it might as well be a Hallmark holiday movie. Some updates to Spider-Man 4, Blade, and Gladiator 2. We'll get into some movie news when we come back.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping.
It's going to be crazy. The fans are going to be loud. We need just energy.
We're going to need, the Forum rocking. We're going to need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support. When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bain 3, yes sir! Desmond Bain with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance, to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
How much have you added weight since your rookie year?
Bro, I think I was like 20?
Rookie, you were
40 pounds.
You
I'm
were
like 265.
You 265 right now?
In between that and like 273, I'm floating in there.
You have looked at a scale and it said 273.
With shoes on, but still.
I'm too little.
That's not phone posits either, right?
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Congratulations to the Vanderbilt Commodores. They have actually hit the over on their win total for the season. Winning number 3. Their total was 2.5.
Hey, listen. If I had told you Vanderbilt was going to hit the over on their win total against Alabama, you guys would have kicked me off the show.
Crazy. Absolutely insane.
I tried to argue that they were going to be bowl eligible.
I said that was good, and they still might not be.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Yellow lace is really bright yellow primary color. You got black on the trim and on the edges, and you got some red there as well. Look at that right there, Mike. Look at that right there.
Man, look at that G. Look at that G, boy. That G is moving strong right there, too, man.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Welcome back. Oh,
Stop it.
Oh,
Your mic is off. We're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. Are you ready to behave like a regular professional host?
A little pitchy. I didn't like that.
Stop.
I didn't like that. That Target commercial is gonna lead me to an early grave.
You don't.
And I love that song. It's iconic.
I've seen it once. And talked to a bunch of theater kids about this. Correct me if I'm wrong. If we were doing musical moments on stage musical moments, is that not number one?
Oh, it's really high up there.
Okay.
Like literally high up there because she is defying gravity, but also in terms of iconic moments that everybody knows, not just theater people. Like if you have a pulse around theater, you are aware that Elphaba in Wicked sings Defying Gravity, and there's this note at the end where it's like, can I do it? Oh, whoa! Yeah.
Is that your take on it?
No, I would have to do the whole thing.
Do
No,
your
I
take on
can't.
it.
I'm not
Do your
warmed up.
take
I'm
on
not
it.
warmed up.
Do your
Stop
take on
Stop
it. We want your take. Do it. Luke, clip it. Let's go.
No, I can't do it.
What do you mean you can't do
That was
it?
as good as you're going to get. Because I'm sitting, I'm scrunched.
Well,
I
get
haven't
out
done
of your seat. Stand up, do your vocal exercises and get it.
Oh, I'm not going to embarrass myself.
Let's go. I want to hear your take on that moment. Either way, you don't waste that moment on the damn Target commercial.
No.
Like, come on, man. What
And
the hell
you
are we
don't
doing?
make people annoyed by that moment before you even get to the moment in the movie. Like, and do we even get that moment in the first part of the movie? That's my next question.
You have to. Don't
One
you?
would think you don't have to do anything. We don't know how this thing is structured.
What would you split it?
I don't know. I would split it like you split the musical.
The musical.
But they've said that they're not doing that exactly because it's more towards the book than the musical.
Oh, okay.
Like the musical is based on a book.
Yes.
The book is more of the source material, even though they're still using all of the songs from the musical.
Okay.
But anyway, Target. What other ad was back last night? The one from March Madness that carried over through the NBA Finals.
Was it the what's the wing spot? Wingstop. Was it the Wingstop commercial? I don't know.
I don't know, but it kept playing too.
Yeah.
And now I can't count. It's one of those commercials that every time I hear it, I'm like, oh God, not again. And then I try to recall it in real life, and I'm like, I can't say it. I don't know what it is. But this one's so easy.
Yeah, you could, and I think this is going to be an issue as long as we're doing the press tour, getting the energy up for the eventual movie. What's the black woman's name?
Cynthia Erivo.
Has a problem taking a step back. The way you do that commercial, if that's a commercial you want to do, you have everybody in the store doing their take on it, and you just have her walking by smiling and nodding. She doesn't need to speak, right? We know who she is. We know what she's going to do in the movie. We know she's going to do it way better than any of them could. You don't need her to step in and do that. You don't. Yeah. She doesn't need to be the face of everything. She doesn't need to be the face of
Don't tell her.
Well, here I go. I'm telling her. She doesn't need to be the face of the Target ad. She doesn't need to be the face of the damn poster either. Take a step back and then just sort of emerge. Almost like those old doo-wop groups used to do back in the day, where it would be just 5 random dudes up there all dancing, and then all of a sudden
the sequin star comes through.
At the last possible moment, they slide out on you.
Yep.
She should be sliding out in the movie, not beforehand, not in the poster, not in this goofy ass Target
It's
commercial.
like balancing promoting the movie. But I just don't think this movie needs the obsessive promotion that they're
but you can promote
going
it
through. They're trying.
You can promote it without having to be again the face of it constantly, can't you? Say,
I don't
hey,
know
at this
the answer
moment,
to that.
pass the rock.
You want to know what I need
season,
more?
Share the ball. Let somebody else get in.
Yeah,
on
share the ball. Give us, if you're going to make this whole Wicked and Gladiator 2 moment happen, give
Wait,
the
are they
men of
dropping at the same
Gladiator a little.
time?
Yes. Remember, we're calling it Gladict. And by we, I mean me. It's Gladict. I can't wait to get Gladict.
I'm getting Gladicked so hard when that movie comes out.
Like, can we not get more Paul Mescal ads? Come on. If we're going to get the Target, like, it's only fair if
Have you
Target makes us
seen-
hear that over and over. They also flash Paul Mescal's
Just
abs
every
at the
now
end of
and
it.
then.
Like,
Have
just
you
a little,
seen, speaking of
flirt with
flashing
it.
sexy men's abs, have you seen the NBA Skims commercial? Yes. That's my wife's favorite commercial. She's like, about damn time.
It comes off of the W had their Skims commercial,
Yes.
and now the MNBA. Did you know there's a men's basketball product? I saw so many people make that joke yesterday. Like big fans of the W who are like, "Oh, what is this new MNBA everyone's talking about? I think I'll check it out."
Oh, okay.
That's cute. You're telling me none of these men ever kiss? What? What is this league? What are we doing?
Allegedly, when Dwight Howard was in the league.
Get out of here. Not
sorry.
here for it. Not here for it. Speaking of Gladiator 2, their popcorn bucket has been revealed. And I will go see. I mean, I've already established I'm getting Gladick, and I will be eating out of the Gladiator 2. But there has to be a Wicked popcorn bucket, too. Maybe it's like a Wicked drink.
Wait,
and I can get a.
Gladicked? Wouldn't it be Gladicked? Because it's Wicked, right?
Yeah.
Gladicked.
Gladicked. It's just ED. It's just a little ED. Come on.
Gladicked.
It's
is
just
what you're getting. You're
where
getting
you put the
Gladicked.
emphasis.
All right, popcorn bucket, Jessica, focus.
I can't. I'm thinking about my time.
Thinking about what?
My time at the movies coming up, where I'm eating
Getting
popcorn
Gladicked.
out of the Coliseum.
Gladicked.
I can't believe they used USC's football stadium as the. It's been
That
a tough
doesn't
year
look-
for
that
USC
doesn't look
football.
like the Mid-South Coliseum.
It does. No, it certainly doesn't look like the Mid-South Coliseum. Doesn't even look like the Coliseum. But I am excited to eat popcorn out of that. I don't know if they've decided to do this yet, but now that I'm trying to help them market in more appropriate ways other than the Target commercial, they should do ices, like a pink and green Slurpee where you can mix you can either pick a pink Slurpee or a green Slurpee, but you can mix the two if you want to like support Glenda and Elphaba, and then you get your popcorn in the Gladiator Arena in the Coliseum, and then you're eating your
That would be
popcorn out of
tough,
that,
though.
and you have why?
Because you're
They should. I bet they had them at Kim Kardashian's watch party.
well, because you'd have to build the Slurpee machines, the slushy machine.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do, because you only have the Coke in the red
You're
one.
telling me you can't just pour some mix in there and change the slushy powder?
Yeah, that's
I've
what
never
I'm-
worked the Slurpee
Yeah,
machine.
That's what I'm telling you. You can't do.
I don't know. My AMC 24 back in the day used to
rotate
occasionally
flavors?
have different flavors.
Okay.
Like sometimes they had blue raspberry, sometimes they had the red raspberry, and then they always had the Coke. And sometimes they had the ice, the white one, the white cherry.
All from the same one.
Yeah, all from the same one. Like it
So
would switch like blue raspberry to white cherry
So there
on
would
any
be-
given week.
So you'd walk in there from a Slurpee standpoint.
Yeah.
How many different places could you get Slurpees from?
Just one.
Just one.
Yeah.
And then so Coke would be on one side, and then one of the other
Like a
flavors
flavor
on
would
the
be
other
on the
side.
other. And
they
think
just
about
rotated the
7-Eleven.
flavor.
7-Eleven rotates Slurpee
a
flavors
good point.
often. So
That's-
how hard can it be?
That's a good point.
And the pink should be, don't give me bubble gum. I don't want that. Don't do some stupid stuff where you're like, oh, I
Pink
have a bubble
watermelon,
gum.
pink lemonade.
Pink lemonade.
Pink lemonade.
Pink lemonade, and the green can be green apple. Duh.
There we go.
Or sour green apple. I
So
can't wait to go
you're-
back to the
Which
movies.
one will you get?
Both. I'd get the mix.
You get the mix because you support them both.
Yes.
So you'd have
And I like
your
both
pink,
those flavors.
You'd have your pink lemonade and your green apple, and you'd have your Gladiator bucket as you walk in to get Gladicked.
I can't wait.
Can't wait.
Isn't it Thanksgiving? I think it's Thanksgiving.
It's not. I've always said it's
My
not Thanksgiving until
in-laws are
somebody
gonna
gets Gladicked.
my in-laws are gonna be here. I can't
get
wait to
Gladicked
tell
with
them.
you?
Wait, hold on. Wicked release.
Is it not Christmas?
Date. I thought it was.
I
No,
thought
it's
it was
November
Christmas.
22nd.
Oh, it's Thanksgiving.
We have such a crazy Grizzlies week. I can't wait to put this right in the middle of it. It's
Because
gonna
you're
be
not
fantastic.
going to wait.
No.
Okay.
No, I will go quickly. I want to see them both. It doesn't
a
have
little
quite the
quickie.
same energy as Barbie Oppenheimer. Like those just
Barbenheimer.
spiritually felt more appropriately linked together.
mean-
Don't ask me why.
What about Saw Patrol?
That also I felt more spiritually
spiritual.
linked. I feel like this is a bit forced.
Well, Jessica,
because honestly, there's like something very homoerotic about Gladiator 2. Well, that too, and Gladiator 2, and so that feels like it like sits in the musical space, right? Like musical adjacent. Like if Gladiator 2 ended up being a musical, everyone else would be pissed off about it, but like I would think it just made sense. It wouldn't surprise me if they just opened their mouth and started to sing at some point. Can't wait.
What were your thoughts on the Kim K stuff?
Oh, it just reminded me of in The Devil Wears Prada when Miranda Priestley asks for the advance copy of Harry Potter, and her assistant Anne Hathaway's character has to go and like go through heaven and earth to get her the advance copy, because how on earth did Kim Kardashian just get the advance copy of a movie that comes out on November 22nd, other than the fact that she's Kim Kardashian? But I would love to know how her assistant, whoever made that happen, like what avenues they went through, because there's a lot of rich kids in the world who would like to have a Wicked watch party ahead of time, but only one got it, to our knowledge.
Is that how you would have liked to see it if you had the option to see it like that? Would you have taken
at my
it?
house?
Yes.
Well, if I had the in-home movie theater situation that I'm sure the Kardashians have, then yes. If it was on my little TV that could barely hang on through the Grizzlies game last night, then no. I don't want that. You had some movie news that you were interested in.
I sure did. I don't remember what it was.
Oh, that's
Kyra,
good.
Throw it up. What we got?
Blade no longer has a release date.
Oh, Jessica.
Wow, you almost forgot about it. You're so sad.
They announced this, and we went crazy. It's like, yes, we're getting Mahershala Ali as Blade. We're getting Blade into the MCU. Let's go. Let's get it. Yes. And there's been routinely, thing after thing, I feel like they've gone through a couple of different writing teams, where it's not just one writer or two writers, like, no, we don't like the direction of that. Get rid of all of you guys, bring in a completely new set of people. And now and it's always pushed it back. I feel like when they announced that Mahershala Ali was gonna play Blade, the thought was, hey, we're gonna get Blade next year in 2025. So we were thinking we're a year away from getting that Blade. Okay. And now, no, they made it indefinite. They're not gonna do Blade. I understand Marvel has been hit with quite a bit of unforeseen things happening, right? The Chadwick Boseman thing, you can go back that far.
Yes.
You throw in Jonathan Majors and his situation, right? Like Marvel is scrambling to try and save the formula. And I would say to Marvel, you don't need to have Blade tie into anything. Just do the solo Blade movie. All of these movies don't have to connect and don't have to tie in immediately. They can tie in and connect eventually later on down the line. You think about what Deadpool recently, Wolverine Deadpool, or Deadpool Wolverine, what that movie did as far as tying things in. Nobody knew when some of these movies were being dropped in the 90s that eventually in the 2020s they would tie in. No, you didn't know that. They were just, for most of them, they were just fine solo movies. They were good solo standalone movies, right? You can do that with Blade also. It doesn't have to connect to a larger overarching theme. And your quest, Marvel, to try and connect all of these movies to a larger overall theme, whether it be a big bad villain, the ultimate big bad villain, or whatever it may be, that's going to be your downfall and your demise. What Marvel did a really good job of not only connecting those things to a large overarching villain, but two, what they really did a good job of was make good standalone movies, right? If Winter Soldier didn't connect to anything at all, Winter Soldier is just a good movie. If Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 didn't connect to anything at all, those are just good movies. Black Panther is just a good movie. Captain Marvel is just a good movie. They don't have to always connect. Trying to force these things to connect is a bit too much. Do the good movies, do Blade well, and then eventually it all connect. I am heartbroken by this news.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
Well, thank you. But I'm back happy again because we got news about Spider-Man 4 coming out. They're going to start working on Spider-Man 4 next summer. I can't wait. Tom Holland confirmed that Spider-Man 4 will begin filming next summer. That's coming at you from Hollywood Reporter. That's news. And so
that's
Marvel,
exciting.
It is exciting. Marvel has had to completely scrap what the game plan was. They had a game plan. We had movie titles. We had titles for all of these movies. And Marvel said, no, we got to get rid of this after the Majors thing. And so now there are 3 new movie release dates for Marvel for 3 different untitled projects so far. And so coming in 2025, we've got, 2028. In February, we got an untitled film. In May, we got an untitled film. And in November, we got an untitled film coming in 2028. So that leads me to believe that not only are we like officially closing the door on the Kang stuff,
okay,
but I feel like, if I'm recklessly speculating, we're leaning into the Doom being the big bad villain. And Robert Downey Jr., they made that announcement. Right. So
even I remember that.
It's not absurd to say, oh, that's going to be the new big bad, but I think these movies are going to lead to, in that November movie, being the big fight with, or the first big fight with Dr. Doom. So I think we will get one of those Doom movies, and I think one of those dates will absolutely, I feel like, be a Dr. Doom movie, and I feel like that'll be the November 2028 release. And so, yeah, I'm excited about Spider-Man 4. I'm heartbroken about Blade. Marvel, you don't have to connect everything, man. Just let it roll.
That was your first Marvel filibuster in a minute. Good work.
You got any questions about anything?
No, I don't think so. Zendaya will be in that Spider-Man 4, correct?
I don't know.
Why not?
Have you seen Spider-Man 3?
Yeah, but I forget what happened. How did it? Well, we'll talk off. Oh, that's right.
So if you, spoiler alert, but if you hadn't seen it, it's been out for like 3 years. I don't know what you're doing. They forget about him at the end. That's how he saves the world.
Yes.
And so,
that's right.
I'm
I
not
cried.
Sure how that. So did the wife.
Oh.
Again. Well, listen. The Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
These Spider-Man, the No Way Home Spider-Man. Great. If they don't have to connect to anything, they do, but they don't. They are just great movies.
Yes.
You could do that with Blade. You could do a Blade trilogy, and it doesn't necessarily have to connect, and it'd be just as good as that.
That's
the
good.
Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy are just great in and of themselves.
Movies.
They can stand alone on their own. Blade can do that also. No need to cancel it. What are we doing, Marvel? Come on, man.
What are we doing? All right, I gotta go shoot a Grizz Weekly update.
Wait, I feel like there was something else.
There can't be. I gotta go shoot a Grizz Weekly update.
What are they gonna do?
Well, I have a very stacked schedule today.
Well, it's fine.
I gotta stay on time. Oh my God, we forgot about Hot Frosty. Oh no, we forgot about Hot Frosty, the new movie.
Aren't you glad? Stop. Thank me. Aren't you glad I stopped you from rushing off?
Yeah, actually I am.
We gotta talk
Grizz
about
Weekly
hot-ass
updates.
Frosty.
Grizz Weekly updates can wait because the new movie on Netflix that is coming out November 13th. The trailer dropped yesterday. If you haven't seen the trailer, please go watch it. It's called Hot Frosty. And ripped snowman comes to life and defrosts a widow's chilled heart. The synopsis is 2 years after losing her husband, Kathy, played by Lacey Chabert. I never know how to pronounce her last name. She's from Mean Girls, but then she became a Hallmark star. She is like one of the notable Hallmark movie, I was going to say princesses, because they feel like a cast of royalty of their own. But anyway, she brings a handsome snowman to life by way of a magic scarf. Through his naivete, the snowman helps Kathy to laugh, feel, and love again as the two fall for each other just in time for the holidays and ... before he melts.
I'm be honest with you.
Hot Frosty sounds like a romance novel.
I gotta be honest? That looks like a romance novel cover.
I have to watch this movie.
I've got some Hot Frosty excitement going on.
I haven't seen. I'm so behind on so many movies at the moment. I went and saw Wild Robot in theaters, which we talked about last week, which I loved. But I have so many movies lined up that I need to watch, both in theaters and at home. And I'm gonna give Hot Frosty. I mean, it doesn't come out till November 12th, so we have time. Should we watch it for the show?
Yes. Should we watch it
Okay,
for the show?
I'm so glad.
I think I'm live tweeting it when I watch it. Because I got questions. All right, like I get it. Frosty,
I don't have many answers.
Frosty the snowman comes alive because of the top hat. He comes alive. Hot Frosty comes alive because of the scarf. So we've got coal for eyes. We've got carrots for nose. We got like little rocks for the mouth. I'm assuming there's going to be some snuggling going on. What do we got going on down there? I built a lot of snowman.
I don't have
I've
the
never
answer.
felt the need to put something down there.
Chriselle Staus is in it.
Who?
Chriselle Staus. She's from Selling Sunset.
Yeah,
She's a reality star.
This
And
is terribly
Katie
good.
Mixon Greer is
Good
in
and
it, who
terrible.
I actually adore. She was on this show called American Housewife that nobody watched except for me on ABC, and I thought it was hysterical. So I'll be watching Hot Frosty. I can't wait. Hopefully I watch some other movies too, but not this week because it's all Grizz all the time. We'll be back tomorrow. It will be another Grizz game day. Lang Whitaker will join us. We'll get you all situated for Grizzlies Rockets tomorrow on the road and then into the weekend with Grizzlies Magic and the home opener here on Saturday. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your Thursday. We'll see you later. Bye.
Reddick says Hot Frosty sounds like an STD.
I mean, how are you going to treat that Hot Frosty?